Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Bon Radio.
Welcome to the show with no name. It's time for liftoff. 10, 9,
8,
come on,
7,
6, come on,
4,
3, 2,
1.
we got this.
0. Ignition.
Come on.
Liftoff.
All right.
30 minutes after.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats, folks. Here we go. Get ready. Yes. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Fun Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go. Show with no name. Welcome one, welcome all. It is time for your English extravaganza. The show with no name on Von Radio, or Vaughan, as you call us. Well, whatever you call us, Von, Vaughan, make sure you give us a call. You can reach us at, puedes alcanzarnos, llamarnos. You can reach us at 911-3858-31. Or go to our website, grupovon.com. You can get information about all our courses, upcoming events, special deals, and just know what's going on in the Vaughn sphere. La Esfera Vaughan. It's grupovon.com. And if you're looking for materials this summer, some excellent resources, you can stop by our online bookshop. It's called vaughantienda.com. And you can get a plethora, a bunch, we looked at that word yesterday, of amazing resources. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Yeah. And my amigos, don't forget my latest book is available now. It's called This Book is the Shit. First things first, how you machines doing? You good? Yeah, we're good. Let's take a picture. Quick question. ¿Cómo se dice emocionar en inglés?
To emotionate.
No. Think of Michael Jackson. Una pista de audio. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
It's Thriller.
That's right. So emocionar is to
Thrill.
Eso es. And this book is the shit will thrill you. It's thrilling.
Sí, señor. This book is the shit. El inglés que no sabías que sabías. 1000 nuevas palabras para tu colección. De la mano de Alberto Alonso
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Now we're talking. That's right, folks. This book is the shit, available now at Von Tienda and wherever fine books are sold. And speaking of books from the Von Tienda, we're going to take a look at one today in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Hands up. Pop quiz. You know it. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. It is our pop quiz on the show with no name. And today's pop quiz is from Conversaciones en Inglés. It is a material that is available at the Von Tienda. And you know who's on the cover? Well, Richard Vaughn and yours truly, un servidor. And as with all our books, it's got downloadable audio. And it's really important, especially in this book, where you listen to an audio clip and then you have to answer some questions and see what you got from that audio clip. So that is today's pop quiz. I'm going to play a short audio clip from Conversaciones en Inglés. If you guys have the book, this is page 134, and it's referring to leaves of absence. And a leave of absence is when you have to take maybe una baja, a medical leave, a sick leave, maternity leave. Well, either way, I want you guys to listen to this audio right now, and I want you to jot down as much as you can, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions. Again, this is from the book Conversaciones en Inglés, Part 2. And Richard Vaughn is on the cover, and I'm right next to him, even though the only thing I did on this book is record some audios. All right, let's hear this audio. Everybody pay attention.
I've just sent off my application form. As soon as I've received an offer to study this master, I'm going to send a letter to Human Resources asking them to grant me a 1-year leave of absence.
Wow. I'm so excited for you, honey. But why don't you send an email to HR instead? Nobody sends letters these days.
I just think that sending a letter would be more professional. There's no guarantee that work will give me the chance to take this sabbatical.
But your colleague Lucy took a year off. I don't see why they wouldn't give you the chance to do the same. Just make sure you send them a nicely worded letter.
Yes, but the thing is, I have a more senior position than her.
I'm sure that won't be a problem. You're planning to do this, Master, to become more of an asset to them. They may even end up sending us across the pond after you've finished so that you can work over there. You've always wanted that.
That's true. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
You know, I have to admit, I'm a little apprehensive about being the sole provider for an entire year, especially given that we have a baby on the way.
Yeah, but Alicia, we've always been very resourceful, and I've saved up 20 grand. That'll be enough for us to live off for a year.
Well, I just hope that you get a distinction on your master.
Of course. Don't forget, I won Best Student Award at university, and that they sent me to Boston to do a special project over the summer after the second academic year ended. So I'm sure to get a distinction.
Ooh, how modest of you. Well, don't get too big-headed. You haven't studied for over 3 years.
I know, and I miss it so much. I really need some intellectual stimulation.
And if they send us to the States, I can finally put my petroleum engineering degree to good use.
I hadn't thought of that. Wow, petroleum engineers earn loads of money in the States.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is from Conversaciones en Inglés, Part 2. And now that you've heard that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions based on that listening. And a nice round of applause to Victor and Lucia. I recognize those voices. It's a great book. Have you listen in on native conversations, and then it gives you, the text, and it gives you keywords. So, for example, the sole provider. This is the only person, let's say in your house, only one person earns a salary. That is the sole provider. Another word that came up, resourceful. Resourceful. Somebody who has a lot of resources. I like that one. What else? Distinction, con honores. All right, well, here are my 3 questions for you, Show with No Namers. Based on what you just heard, what did Michael just send? Give me all 3 in one comment, please. What did Michael just send? All right. The next one. What does Michael believe? Because she gave him some advice. She said that he should send an email, but he disagreed. What did he say when she suggested that he send an email? That's question 2. And after Michael tells her that, she agrees that that would be a good idea, what he said. So, what does she tell him? Once she agrees with him on how to contact these people, what does she tell him? All right. Remember, if you don't give me full sentences, you are not speaking English. No way. No way, Jose. So that's a conversation between Michael and Alicia, as we would say. Michael and Alicia. All right, let's see. So what did Michael just send? He just sent something. Then Alicia tells him he should send an email. He says no. He says he thinks he should send something else. Please tell me what it is and why. That's number 2. And then once Alicia agrees with him on the means, she gives him some more advice. What does she advise him? So advice is consejos, con C-E. And to advise, con S-E, es el verbo, aconsejar. All right, let's go on over to our virtual chat room and see who's on board and ready to rock. Let's see, front row center, there's my dad. Good morning, Alberto family and friends. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York. Waking up to a nice applause. Hey, that's a good way to wake up. You know, you wake up, you get out of bed, and all of a sudden, a thunderous applause. Hey, it's a good motivator, isn't it? There's Kubla. What's up, Kubla? He says, hello, charismatic fellas. Cue the jingles and let's cut the mustard. To cue is dar pie a, okay? Que entre tal, right? Cue, C-U-E. And to cut the mustard is to measure up. Dar la talla, you say. Great idiomatic expressions there. Paraoanu says, hello, everybody. What's up, Paraoanu? Welcome aboard. There's Laura. Good morning, amazing show with no namers. Let's see what our teacher has in store. Porvenir planificado. In store for us today. And make the most of these 2 magical hours. Oh yeah, that's the attitude. Laura, welcome aboard. There's our buddy Born to Iron Man, and he says, morning, folks. How are you doing? Great, Born to Iron Man. Now that we know you are here and ready to rock. German says, hello, guys. How are you faring? Un poco formal, pero me ha gustado. German, I liked it. Hello, guys. How are you faring? Hey, it's good to hear different ways to say things. All right, who else is ready to rock here? Where are my show with no-namers? Marisol. Marisol says, good morning, fellows. Nice to hear this program live, not on live, sin artículo, sin preposición. To hear this program live now that I'm not working. Greetings to everyone. Hello, Marisol. Nice. All right. Let's see. Paro, now I'm seeing a lot of sloppiness, carelessness, descuidado. You know me. As your teacher, I can't accept, incomplete sentences, or else we're not practicing. Let's see. I see Laura looks like she's done a thorough job. Thorough, completo, concienzudo. All right, so Laura says he sent an application to HR asking for a 1-year leave to do a master's. Laura, the first one is correct. He sent an application, right? This is a form, un formulario, where you apply for something. Makes sense. You have to fill out the application form if you're applying for something. ¿Ves cómo jugamos? No solo con the noun application, but also to apply for. And that's the one we use for a job, too. He applied for a job. And some jobs have an application form. A lot of jobs, you have to send in your resume. We don't say CV in the U.S. All right, Laura, so far, so good. I didn't expect anything less. Let's see. The second one's, he sent a letter because he deems this way of contacting them more professional. Yes. So, yeah, she says, well, why don't you send him an email? And, well, he said a letter is more professional than an email, a written letter. All right? And let's see, Laura says, the third one, Alicia tells him to remind them that by doing the masters, he's going to be a better asset for them. Absolutely. That's some advice. Remember, in English, we never say advices. No es palabra. It's, do you want some advice? Da igual si te digo una o dos. Ahora, si quieres hacerlo contable, puedes decir a piece of advice. All right. Let's see, Kubla. Kubla's got some answers here as well. And Kubla says, Michael sent an application form for a master. Absolutely. For a master, or wait, let's check this out. Application. I just sent out, I received an offer to study this master. I'm going to send a letter to human rights. Okay, so that's correct. Interesting, because let's see. Laura said he sent an application to HR for a 1-year leave. Well, no, not kind of, but Kubla, you're a little more spot on there. Listen, I've just sent off my application form. As soon as I've received an offer to study this master, I'm going to send a letter to HR. So, what did he just do? He sent an application form. Okay? The letter to HR is what they're discussing. Good ear, Kubla. Wonderful. Let's see. Number 2. Kubla says he thinks writing a letter is more professional than an email. Yes. Good ear. Good ear. And Kubla, to finish it off, rematar, says she advised him to write a nicely worded letter. Great job. Nicely worded. Redactado, maybe you would say. Bonitamente. Me acabo de invitar. Bueno, you catch my drift. It makes sense. A nicely worded letter. Great job. Excellent job. Laura and Kubla. Let's see, there's Chris. Chris Valrol. There she is. I was concerned. I said, where's Chris? And she says, morning, Alberto and friends. Sorry, I missed part of the audio. No worries. She says, I think Michael sent an application form to ask for a leave of absence, but he thinks a letter is better. Well, Chris, you said a lot in just a little bit there. But to clear it all up, he sent off an application form, right? And as soon as he receives an offer to study, so it's an application form for a master's. And as soon as he gets approved, then he's debating on whether to send or, well, he doesn't seem to be debating it, but he's debating it with her, whether to send a letter, how to send it, and all that jazz. How, really, if you wanted to sum it up, he's discussing with Alicia, or Alicia, or Alicia. I've heard all three. Well, in Estados Unidos no dicen Alicia. That's the only one you won't hear. You'll hear Alicia and Alicia. So he's discussing with his colleague, friend, partner, how to go about requesting a leave of absence from his company to do a master's. So, excellent job, folks. The material's called Conversaciones en Inglés 2. There are many, many different topics. You've got, que bien, empiezan con party drinks. I love it. Party drinks. We've got hidden talent. We've got train tracks. The sailing trip. And again, these are native conversations where you can listen, you can take a look at the text, and then after each listening exercise, you have to answer those questions. Now, I only gave you 3 questions, but let's take a look. I'm looking at chapter 14, page 34. This one is the casting director, right? And this is what they have you do. I'll just read it. It says, antes de empezar a leer el texto de la conversación, intenta entender el 100% de la pista de audio. So really, that's the order you want to do it in. Now, if you're really, really low level, you might have to follow along. But if not, you should listen to it. If you didn't catch too much, listen to it again. Lasts a couple minutes. And then answer the questions. And it's interesting because the questions are in Spanish. So I'm going to give you some homework. When you use this material, this very useful material, I want you to make the questions in English as well. So, ¿qué le pregunta Melissa a Billy? No lo sabéis porque no lo hemos escuchado, pero te estoy dando un ejemplo. ¿Qué le preguntó? En presente. ¿Qué le pregunta Melissa a Billy? What did Melissa ask Billy? ¿A qué edad se refiere Melissa? What age is Melissa referring to? So you can practice also translating the questions and answering them in English as well. It's called Conversaciones en Inglés, and you can pick it up at the Von Tienda. And if you're looking for more information about masters, since we just spoke about masters, Well, folks, you know you've got the one and only Vaughn Masters as well. You can get more information at our website. It's grupovaughn.com. Folks, we are off to our first commercial break. We'll be right back with the second part of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So much to do. I hope you guys are having fun and learning. In life, it's all about applying yourself. Mira, antes estábamos jugando con la palabra to apply. Right? Ponerse, hay que ponerse. In life, you've got to apply yourself. Que también es ponerse, like in the summer. Sunblock, you can apply to put on. But aplicar, poner en práctica. Audrey is applying the same method as last time. Right? Applying for a job. To apply your skills. Ponerlos, aplicar, usar, poner en práctica. And you guys are always applying. No, not for jobs, yourselves. And what more can I ask for as your teacher? Show with no namers around the world. You guys rock. Yeah. All right, well, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah, yeah. Say what? What? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. Say what soundbite. Say what soundbite All right, amigos. We're going to hear this soundbite 4 times. You will have 4 chances to write down everything you heard. And initially, I just want you to give me a summary of what you heard. In a nutshell, en resumidas cuentas. Yeah, yeah. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. All right, amigos. We just did a listening exercise before to warm up, calentar motores, so you guys should be ready to rock. Is everybody ready? This is your Say What soundbite for the first time.
I cannot stand all the time. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than kings. From now on in presence, you shall so conduct like all other subjects.
You mean on the floor?
All subjects do so.
I'm very sorry.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, definitely more than one voice in there, huh? All right, let me play it for you again, and then we'll discuss it. Maybe you guys might even recognize where it's from, although that's not the important part. The important part here is that you guys are able to summarize what you heard in your best English, and that hopefully you'll be able to get it down word for word. All right, here we go. Here it is for the second time.
I cannot stand all the time. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than kings. From now on in presence, you shall so conduct like all other subjects.
You mean on the floor?
All subjects do so.
I'm very sorry.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And in the meantime, let me remind you about Vaughntown. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. There you go, folks. If you haven't gotten any information about Vaughntown, check it out. And I got to tell you something. Not everybody can go to Vaughntown. It's an exclusive club. No, it's not because of that. No, I mean that you have to have a certain level. So if you are below that level, they're not going to let you go because you're going to get lost. You're going to get frustrated. Just remember, every course, anything you do at Vaughan, you'll be tested before. And we're not just going to give you, a material or sign you up for a course haphazardly. Toma palabra. Haphazardly, al azar. So give us a call or stop by our website, grupovon.com, and you can get a free consultation, a free level test. Tell them Alberto sent you. No, I don't get a commission or anything, but hey, it sounds cool. Alberto sent me. All right, let's see what you guys heard in our Say What soundbite. As always, I want you guys to use your best English here. Let's see. We've got Kubla taking a stab at today's Say What soundbite. And he says, I heard 2 British people, a man and a woman, commenting on royalty and country people and some of their customs and rules. Nice job. Great job, Kubla. A man and a woman, British, commenting on royalty and country people or country folk. Gente, bueno, en contexto puede ser gente de mi país, but it can also be gente del pueblo, del campo. Interesting. And some of their customs, costumbres, and rules. Did you know the word customs is a double trouble? Let me give it to you in Spanish. A ver si me sale. Una de las costumbres de ese país es pasar por aduana. One of the customs of that country is going through customs. Well, hey, if it helps you remember it, job done, because I know many people probably know the word costumbres, customs, no customs, customs, customs. So then you just have to remember it also means aduana. And we always use it with an S cuando hablamos de aduana, which is interesting because when I first started learning this word in Spanish, I used to say aduanas. Why? Porque en inglés es customs. Pero en español no lleva una S. Pasar por aduana. Aduana, right? And we say he went through customs. You can learn this in the airport episode of FYI. It just came out a couple weeks ago. Last week, my lovely wife, Diana, joined us on FYI to talk social media. And what will we look at this week? Stay tuned. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, too late. The cat's out of the bag. We're going to do it on the one and only Freddie Mercury, coming up this week. Well, I figured the one with my wife, man, that was as we call, a hard act to follow. Que nadie quiere seguirle porque lo hizo tan bien. And by the way, thank you. I've been getting tons of amazing feedback, and I've been sharing it with my wife. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks for taking the time to share some feedback. Let's see. There's Laura. Laura says, I heard a dialogue from a scene in a movie where the king tells one of his subjects, a woman, that her head cannot be higher than his, and that therefore she has to get down on the floor. Laura, you got it. Oh, yeah. You got it. All right, anybody else want to participate in the Say What soundbite before we move on? Going once? Going twice? All right, folks. Well, let's move on because you know time is of the essence. Time is of the essence, que significa el tiempo es oro, es precioso. So let's move on to our spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. That's right, amigos. This is our spelling bee only on the show with no name. And thank you for joining us here on our spelling bee. This is the toughest section on the show, but lately You guys have been kicking butt. You know who you are. I don't even have to say your names. You know who you are. And I've got to tell you something. You guys have been impressing me like crazy. And when I say impressing me like crazy, I mean, like, I can't believe it myself, where I don't even know if I would be able to get it. So just imagine that, folks. All right? All right. Okay. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do this because normally 1 or 2 people get it, but lately 3 or 4 people have been getting it, right? So, I'm going to up the ante. Vamos a subir el listón. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got unbelievable. We've got a winner in our Say What soundbite. Please give it up for Laura, the lovely Laura. Excellent job there, Laura. After the second listen, you nailed our Say What soundbite. All right, let's see how you guys do on the spelling bee. Today, I'm going to be ruthless, despiadado. Why? Because you guys are fucking good. Great. Amazing. So, hey, nobody said anything about my sticker, by the way. My daughter gave me a sticker. She goes, Papi. I go, Papi has to go to work. And she goes, here, take this sticker with you and put it on your shirt. So, oh, it's funny, too. It's a little tiger. Oh, interesting. We had a cat before. We're talking about cats today, jungle cats and domestic cats, it seems. But today's spelling bee has nothing to do with cats. Is everybody ready? These words don't have to be capitalized, and the first round is going to be brutal. Here we go. The first one is HOOK, comma, space, LINE, space, ampersand, space, SINKER. The second one is LIVE, space, BAIT. The third one is TACKLE, space, BOX. The fourth one is LURE. The fifth one is FLY, space, FISHING. And the sixth one is ANGLER. There you go. All right, amigos. Whoa. And you know what? I'm going to take you guys to the ocean today. Yeah. Well, any body of water will do. Chris Valrol participating in the Say What soundbite. She says, I heard a conversation between a man and a woman. She sounds like a Scottish. Cuidado, aquí diríamos, Cristina. She sounds Scottish, or she sounds like a Scottish person. It's from an old movie, absolutely. He told her that none of his subjects, can have their heads above the king's. Great job, Chris Valrol. Great job, all of you. All right. And it looks like we might have a spelling bee winner on our hands. I can't believe it. Is it possible? Let's take a look. I mean, that was brutally fast. The first one is correct, Kubla. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one's correct. The fifth one is also correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Nice job. Wow, that was really good, man. I mean, I don't even think I could have written him down that fast. So nice job, Kubla. Impressive, as Laura says. Marisol says, wow, I got really lost in the spelling bee. Don't worry, Marisol. I'm going to repeat these words in just a moment. All right. Kubla says it looks like a list of fishing items. That's right. These words have to do with fishing. And no, I'm not talking about fishing on the internet, que se escribe Phish. And that means to get people's information. You're fishing for people's information by creating a fake website, like Somos La Caixa, and it's not. And like, pon tu cuenta bancaria y tu contraseña. This is called phishing, right? Also, we have another thing in English, which is fishing for compliments. So this is like the typical thing where somebody's like, oh man, this shirt makes me look really fat. And you're like, no, you look great. Like, you're not supposed to agree. Because if you say, oh yeah, hell yeah, you look like a cow in that shirt, you know? Nope. Usually when somebody says, I don't know if I like my hair like this, they're fishing for a compliment. Un piropo. They're not trying, they don't want you to agree with them and say, yeah, you're right. I liked it a lot better the way it was. The hell did you do to your hair? It's funny, folks. All right. Looks like we've got another winner. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Valrol also nailing our spelling bee, where we're taking a look at some fishing terms today. All right. Here we go, my amigos. This is round 2 of today's spelling bee. This is the round for us mere mortals. The first one is Hook, comma, space, Line, space, ampersand, space, Sinker. The second one is Live, space, Bait. The third one is Tackle, space, Box. The fourth one is Lure. The fifth one is Fly, space, Fishing. And the last one is Angler. All right. Any fishermen or fisherwomen out here? Anybody here know how to fish? I know I have some listeners, some students down in Almeria who have sent me pictures of them fishing down by Cabo de Gata. So I know some people who listen to us are serious fishermen, right? And it's used a lot in the Bible too. You know, the biblical use of fish, right? You will be fishers of men. Vais a ir a pescar hombres, a creyentes, right? Fishers of men. So when we talk about fishing, remember, it's not just, throwing a line in the water. And there's one for you, sedal. When I learned that, I said, una línea, no? And they're like, no, it's sedal. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, that was a false friend over there for me. I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit too antsy. I'm a little bit too fidgety. To be fidgety or to be antsy is inquieto, to go fishing. I think it would do me some good, Creo que me vendría bien to go fishing. I used to go fishing with my dad up on the Great Lakes. But more than the fishing part, I enjoyed being on the boat, being on the lake, swimming, I love that part of the trip. The actual fishing part, man, wasn't my favorite part. But who knows, your tastes change throughout the years. So maybe I'll get into fishing as I get older. Who knows? I am an early bird. What is an early bird? Somebody who wakes up early. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the best time to fish, right? Any fishermen here or anybody who knows a little bit about fishing? Well, the reason I chose these terms is A, it's summertime. So a lot of people are out there on boats doing some boating, doing some fishing. And also because today in 1836, the Fly Fisher's Entomology is published. And this book supposedly transformed the sport. And it's been produced and edited into many, many editions. Now, I'll never forget that my dad had a book about, because we had a little library in our house where we had encyclopedias and things like that. And it was kind of weird because when I saw this term fly fishing, I thought to myself, what? Fly fishing? And it didn't make sense to me because I thought, well, why would anybody want to eat or catch a fly? And of course, the fly is the bait, el cebo, right? The fly is not what you eat. But when I was a kid, I just remember being so confused when I saw fly fishing. I'm like, who the hell? I mean, who's fishing for flies? And then also I remember thinking, because a lot of times when they cast the fishing pole or the fishing rod, you can say either one, when you cast it, it kind of, it flies through the air. All right, we've got some more winners. Laura. Excellent job, Laura. Yeah. All right. Well, my amigos, we'll take a look at those terms. Plus, we've got a lot of stuff to do in the second half of today's show. Homophones, double trouble, famous birthdays, name that lyric, name that movie, and so much more. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. And I hope you're ready for more challenges. I've got many more challenges in store, as Laura said. Or una que me encanta también, in the pipeline. En el oleoducto. Bueno, que está viniendo, está por venir. Makes sense. It's in the pipeline. No ha llegado todavía. See, guys, if you can associate it in your head and make it make sense, well, then you'll never, ever, ever forget it. Folks, we'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So, stick around. on the show with no name, and this is where we're going to take a look at two words, and you guys are going to A, tell me what the words are, and then B, tell me if the words sound exactly the same or not. And then we'll take a look at our Say What soundbite. We've got to give it a third listen, and Laura, you can just sit back and relax because you already figured it out. And then we'll go over our fishing terms really quickly, and name that movie, Double Trouble, and blah, 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 blah. All right. The first word I want you to give me, and I want you to give me both words together, and I want you to tell me if they sound the same or not. The first one is to kill, for sport or for food. Okay? It's also to look for something, to search for something. We use it. In Spanish, it's cazar, buscar. Also, it's cacería. Okay? So a group of people who do this as well. What else? I'm seeing if it has any other. Encontrar, capturar, si le añadimos la palabra down. Okay? Después, pues es capturar, encontrar. Okay, that is our first word. Cazar, buscar, capturar. Okay? And the second word is a double trouble because it's A, when a ghost appears. Okay? You say una casa encantada, but it's the verb. So, ese fantasma encanta esta casa. Okay? Pero no lo quiero con ese. Okay? So, the second one is aparecerse. Encantar, pero no en el nice to meet you, right? También, si es un recuerdo, a memory, nos persigue, nos obsesiona. Okay? What else? The double trouble. It's also mi lugar favorito, a place that I usually frequent. Okay? And I think, yeah. Oh, it's also used in the expression when you tell somebody you're going to regret this later. You would say, that's going to come back to you. Okay? Atormentarte. Perseguirte, obsesionarse. So it's the same idea there. All right. And while you guys are thinking about that, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the third time.
I cannot stand all the time. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than kings. From now on in presence, you shall so conduct like all other subjects.
You mean on the floor?
All subjects do so.
I'm very sorry.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's your Say What soundbite. Hopefully a few other people will be able to figure it out with Laura. Let's take a look at our homophones right now. I see a lot of people participating. This is wonderful news. Great to see you all participating. And the first person to participate is German. And German says the words correctly, so they are correct. And he says they're not homophones. Laura says the two words are and they're not homophones. So that's two super show with no namers who are saying, no way, Jose. All right, Chris Valrol. She says, I'd say and are not homophones. Ooh, there's another superstar. Wow. Okay. So would you guys be willing to bet? I mean, I don't know. These are some really good students, really high level, Mary Bell. Kubla says it's and they don't sound the same. So right now, it appears to be unanimous here. All right, so then you should know how to pronounce both of these words. The first word, say it. How do you say cazar? Hunt, 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 right? Hunt. Hunt. And it's a regular verb, okay? When he was younger, he hunted deer, okay? To hunt deer is ciervo. As you guys know, I've never been a big hunter. I mean, I eat animals. I'm a carnivore, but I don't want to hunt You know what I mean? I don't want to be involved in the process, which I guess is pretty normal these days. Not back in the day. You didn't have a choice, right? So hunt. And then, as we said, also to hunt for something. So my grandmother, she was very thrifty. Buscaba formas. Let's see how they say thrifty. It's a nice way of saying cheap. Ahorrativo, right? But thrifty doesn't sound bad. Thrifty sounds like you know how to make things go a long way. So if you have a thrifty idea, you did something that's thrifty, you saved some money, and you were able to do it, I don't know, maybe makeshift. Makeshift is improvisado, the word makeshift. We looked at it in my class the other day, the word makeshift. So hunt, right? And what do we hunt for? We hunt for bargains. We hunt for prey, right? Prey, not rezar. Prey, presa. Se pronuncian igual. De hecho, hablando de homófonos, prey, presa, and pray, orar, I think you say, are homophones. So, hunt, say it with me. Y me recuerda a la actriz, Helen Hunt. Oh, yeah? What did she hunt? Bueno, sería Helen hunted, right? La única forma de que pueda tener sentido es Helen, hunt. Helen, caza. Porque si no, tendría que ser Helen hunts, ella caza. Or Helen hunted, ella cazó. And the hunt is la cacería. Sometimes we say to cacería de brujos, you say, this is a witch hunt de brujas, a witch hunt. All right. Speaking of witches, witches can sometimes encantar una casa. They can haunt a house. All right. So the first word is hunt. The second word is haunt. Again, hunt, haunt. They are not homophones. Great job, German and company. Great job. Hunt and haunt. See, it's a little bit different there. Haunt. And as we just said, you got a haunted house, right? Una casa encantada. And ghosts haunt the house. Okay? Aparecen, encantan la casa. Ghosts haunt the house. And I think I always use this example. But one of my favorite haunts was haunted. I tell this story a lot in the Plaza Mayor. So a place where I worked, Moore's, it was a favorite haunt of many Madrileños. It was a very popular Irish pub. But it was also haunted. So it's a good way to remember that double meaning. Also, we've got another Say What soundbite winner. Give it up for Kubla. Great job, Kubla. Great job, Laura, as well. And wonderful job to everybody in our homophone section. And now we're going to do some fishing. Fish on, baby. Remember that one, Dad? Fish on, que sigamos pescando, que viva la pesca. Fish on. I remember my dad's friend, Captain Bob, and all those guys. They would say, fish on, baby. All right. The first one is hook, line, and sinker. We already said that the line is sedal, the fishing line. Piénsalo, es una línea, right? De cuerda. So fishing line. And a hook is the part where you put the bait. The bait. See, I don't know these words too well. El cebo. Okay, the bait is what attracts the fish. And then you have a sinker. And not a stinker. Una pestosilla. A sinker. And a sinker is plomo o plomada. It's a weight that's used on a fishing line. Okay, so if you put the three together, hook, line, and sinker, it's an expression. De cabo a rabo. De principio a fin, right? So, did your mother fall for your excuse? Tu madre se creyó tu excusa, cayó? And you say, yeah, she bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Okay? So if you fall for something, hook, line, and sinker, caíste. No, te engañaron con facilidad. Hook, line, and sinker. Completely. You're duped. A pies juntillas. Caer redondo. Tragar entero. Pues, in Argentina, entrar como un caballo. Comérsela enterita. To fall for something. Hook, line, and sinker. There's your expression. And we just learned some words from the fishing world. The next one is live bait. Live bait. We just looked at bait, which is cebo. You guys probably know the word too from clickbait, right? Clickbait is, tenemos el secreto de la vida. Cliquea aquí. You're like, yeah, right. I don't know about you guys. I don't fall for it, right? But some people fall for clickbait, hook, line, and sinker. And live bait, what is live bait? Worms, no? Gusanos, lombrices, worms a lot of times. I remember near my house, there were a lot of places that sold, right? They sold live bait. And this was cebo vivo todavía. The third one is tackle box. And this is interesting because to tackle is abordar. You know it from soccer, many of you. To tackle, right? From American, from fútbol americano también, so from football. But, and to tackle, yeah, placar. Entrarle a alguien, abordar, right? To tackle. But a tackle box is the specific box that a fisherman uses that has the hooks, the lines, the sinkers, everything's in there, right? In the tackle box. It's the box that you use to store, almacenar, your fishing gear, okay? Tackle box. I always thought it was a funny name there. Uno de herramientas is called a toolbox, right? Tackle box. All right, the next one. Lure. L-U-R-E. This word is a lot of times used in a negative way. Like the kidnapper, el secuestrador, lured the kids into his van, right? And to lure is to attract, to tempt. But also lure is cebo, señuelo, carnada. So Tom tried a new lure on his fishing trip, right? So to lure somebody or something, okay? And the fifth one, fly fishing, which we said is not fishing for flies, which I learned the hard way. I just said, that's disgusting. Who would want to eat those? And then I realized, okay, no, it's the bait. But still, I don't want to eat a fish that ate a fly. They're disgusting. Well, I guess worms aren't any less disgusting. So fly fishing. And then the last one is angler. And an angler is another word for a fisherman. So I hope you guys enjoyed our little fishing trip. My dad says, that's Paco's line. Fish on. Yeah, fish on. So que sigamos pescando. You know the only thing I catch when I go fishing? I usually catch a big cold. Resfriado. All right. That's an old school joke over there. Let's see. Kubla says, I tried to fish a couple of times, but I was a lousy angler. My dad says, greetings and thanks to the Admiral and Captain Bob. Thanks, Captain. Oh, I totally forgot about that. I hope Captain Bob is not listening right now, but Dad, I'm going to tell the story. Why not? We're here. Captain Bob was the captain of his ship, right? He was a guy who worked with my dad. But there was somebody over him in the hierarchy, and that was the admiral, almirante, and that was his wife. Poor woman. Was it Judy, maybe, Dad? I don't remember her name, but I know that we called her the Admiral, and she was the Admiral. Because I remember, we'd be on the boat, and she would let us do our thing, go fishing, and as soon as we would come back, Bob would say, okay, well, we're going to go have dinner over here, and the Admiral would come in and say, cancel those orders. We're not going there. We're going here. And then we saw who was really running the show over there. The Admiral. Doesn't matter what her name was. She was calling the shots. She was running the show. She was wearing the pants, except on the boat. That was Bob's territory. But in the home, and the moment he was on land, the Admiral took over. And I'll never forget, I told this story recently. Dad, I'm sure you remember this too. It was the same weekend the world was shocked by Princess Di's death. I remember we were sitting in a little motel and, we were glued to the TV because it was crazy. Princess Di had died. So there you go, my amigos. But right now we've got to move on. Oh, my goodness. We've got so much to do. It's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Calm down. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. I promise. I'll stop. Whatever I was doing. All right, folks, here's your movie. A group of young gunmen, led by Billy the Kid, becomes deputies to avenge the murder of the rancher who became their benefactor. But when Billy takes their authority too far, they become the hunted, los cazados, la presa, the prey. Hey, we looked at those words before. All right, ladies and gentlemen. My dad says, I needed that laugh. One of those unforgettable moments. Yeah, I remember. Bob said something like, we're going to go have dinner here. It's a great place. And she goes, no, we're going to go have dinner here. He didn't even, he just said, yes, ma'am. I think he even saluted her and everything. She commanded respect. The Admiral. The Admiral. She was about, she probably reached my shoulders. She wasn't very tall, but she was large. She wasn't large, but she was in charge. Porque la expresión es, he's large and in charge. O sea, es grande y a cargo de todo, right? So, a group of young gunmen, pistoleros, led by Billy the Kid, probably one of the most famous gunmen ever, become deputies. And a deputy is, it's kind of sheriff. Right? Because it's diputado. If we're talking about in a political sense, right? Es un diputado. But if it's a deputy, it's like a sustituto del sheriff, right? So the deputy. Still, the Admiral ranks higher than all of them. And she'll let you know. So they become deputies to avenge, vengarse. So the word is revenge. That's the noun. I will seek revenge, or I will avenge his death, como verbo. The murder of the ranchero, I think you know that one, ranchero, who became their benefactor. And benefactor, I think that one's easy, comes from Latin, viene de latín. But when Billy takes their authority too far, cuando Billy lo lleva, se pasa, ¿no? Es con la autoridad, se pasa de listo. He takes it too far, they become the hunted. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol Also, Kubla. It's Young Guns in a Blaze of Glory. That's right. This is Young Guns. It's not Young Guns 2. The song I was singing is from Young Guns 2 with John Bon Jovi, right? But the first one, well, I love both of them. I got to be honest. I love Young Guns and I love Young Guns 2. I don't know if these movies were really popular in Spain, but in the States, they were huge. I mean, you just have to look at the cast. Eran la gente más famosa en ese momento. So Young Guns and Young Guns 2. And man, I love that song, The Blaze of Glory. Lord, I never drew blood, but I drew first blood on the devil's son. Call me Young Gun. He says, I never drew blood, nunca saqué sangre, but I drew first blood, pero saqué la primer sangre. I'm the devil's son. Call me Young Guns. And then he goes, I'm going out in a blaze of glory. Take me now if you want the truth. Take me. I mean, it's an epic song. I got chills right over here. I'm going down in the blaze of glory. And a blaze of glory is blaze is a fire, like a blaze of glory. A ver cómo lo definen aquí. ¿Lo conocéis vosotros de blazer? Llamarada, llamas, resplandor, in a blaze of glory. All right, actually, we don't have time. We'll have to do this really quickly when we come back. I can't believe it, folks. We have to go to our third commercial break, and we're going to come back with the fourth and final part of the show. We'll take a look at the movie really quickly. We've also got Say What Soundbite. We've got Double Trouble. We've got jokes, famous birthdays, and so much more up ahead. We're going down in the blaze of glory. Lord, I never drew blood, but I drew first blood. I'm the devil's son. Call me Young Gun. Stick around.
Double, double trouble. I said double, double trouble. Double, double trouble. I said double, double trouble.
All right, amigos, it's double trouble time here on the show with no name, and I think this one's a pretty easy one, but I could be wrong. We've looked at this expression before, I think both of them. So good luck, and I think you shouldn't have too much difficulty here. All right, esta situación es horrible, insoportable, inaguantable, es lo peor. Vamos. Esta situación es lo peor, es horrible, insoportable, insostenible. Okay. Tendremos que hacer de tripas corazón. Okay. Now, I learned this one in Spanish, but let me tell you another way to say it in English. It's always a good thing. To do something unpleasant, right? You also say comerse el marrón in Spanish, to eat the brown. I don't even want to get that one. Oh, hacer de tripas chorizo, pone aquí. Tragar en español. En Argentina, bancársela. Ok, tragar lo que venga. Hacer de tripas corazón. You have to accept something or do something that is unpleasant. All right? Accept or do something that is unpleasant. But there's no way around it. No hay forma de evitarlo. All right, and also here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth time.
I cannot stand all the time. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than kings. From now on in presence, you shall so conduct like all other subjects.
You mean on the floor?
All subjects do so.
I'm very sorry.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your Say What soundbite. And yeah, that was the last listen. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment and see what was said here. And I noticed Kubla, I didn't notice in Laura's, I'm not going to scroll all the way up, but you said the word peasants, campesinos, and he's not talking about peasants. The word is not peasants. So, ojo con esa palabra ahí. The word is not peasants that he said. I don't know what you put, Laura, or if it was the same. But again, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. All right, let's see what we've got over here. The first person to take a stab at our double trouble is our good friend, Leonardo. And Leo says, this situation is unbearable. We will have grin and bear it. You're just missing something really important. We'll have to, right? Que cuando lo pronunciamos rápido es have to. We'll have to grin and bear it. I like it, but let's see if anybody got it perfect. Good job, Leo. But now you know you will have to use to if you want to use that structure. Okay, let's see. Laura, this situation is unbearable. We'll have to grin and bear it. Great. Great stuff over there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, we've got more people. German says, this is a hard bullet, but we'll have to bite the bullet. Let me check. I've never heard a hard bullet. Let's see if it comes up. No, hard bullet, a secret adventure game. It's not I like it. I like what you did there because the second part is what I have. We'll have to bite the bullet. So good job, German, with bite the bullet. But this is a hard bullet. I don't know. It doesn't sound, I get it, but it doesn't sound natural there. All right, Kubla says, we're sweating bullets. Estamos sudando como pollos. We'll have to bite the bullet. Okay, it's not exactly the same. You change the meaning. It's good, but I wouldn't hire you as a translator because to sweat bullets, to be it can be related, but it doesn't have to. So if you're sweating bullets because it's 90 degrees outside, well, that's different. But if you're sweating bullets because something's really difficult or unpleasant, it's more specific. But I like it. I think it's great. Good job, guys. Nobody got the one I have, though. 100% here. Great job. So unbearable, to grin and bear it. You say ajo y agua, a joderse y aguantar. We say, Germán, now that you say a hard bullet, we do say this is a bitter pill to swallow. Esto es un golpe fuerte. Nadie quiere tener que... No, lo mismo. Esto es una pastilla amarga para tragar. No, una mala noticia, algo no bueno, right? So we're looking at some good expressions here. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Esto es lo peor. Esto es insoportable, inaguantable. Tendremos que hacer de tripas corazón. All right. This situation bites. It bites. Okay? This situation bites. It sucks. It blows. These are three different ways to say, es lo peor. No hay nada peor. This sucks. This bites. This blows. Okay? Now, there's a movie that came out back in the day for my movie buffs. Reality Bites. Okay? And the movie's interesting because it has a double meaning here. So this is a movie with Ben Stiller, Winona Ryder, Ethan Hawke, Janine Garofalo, Steve Zahn, really good cast. And the movie came out in 1994. And it's called Reality Bites. Now, why is it called Reality Bites? It has a double meaning there. La realidad es lo peor, es inaguantable, es insoportable. It bites, right? Es lo peor. But also, bites, like sound bites, son trocitos. And the movie is told, it tells little bites, right? You say píldoras, little bites of reality, telling stories of these people's lives. So it's got that double meaning. Trocitos de la realidad, y la realidad es insoportable, es lo peor. So a documentary filmmaker and her fellow Generation X graduates face life after college, looking for work and love in Houston. So this situation bites. We'll have to bite the bullet. All right. Excellent job. We've also got Name That Movie. Let's get through the movie over here just so we can get to everything. And the movie was Young Guns. Okay. And Steve is laughing at Bonnie at the dinner table. En la mesa. Están cenando. And John says, "What do you find funny, Stephen?" ¿Qué es lo que encuentras tan gracioso, Stephen? That's no proper table manners, right? Esos no son modales de la mesa. And Charlie says, "He's got a way with hogs." What? He's got a way with hogs. Tiene un don con los cerdos. Yeah, hogs. Also, to hog is to take more than your portion. Stop hogging all the chips. I didn't eat any. Right? Hacer el cerdo, piénsalo. So he's got a way with hogs. Tiene un don. The same way if I say, you've got a way with words. Tienes un don con la palabra. And then John says, "Congratulations, Charles. You and Steve will be doing the dirty crockery alone this evening." And crockery, a ver cómo lo traducen, es vajilla. Now, we would never say crockery now. We would say dishes, the dishes, right? I'm going to do the dishes. So he goes, "You and Steven will be doing the dirty dishes, crockery, alone this evening." And Charlie says, "Sorry, John. It just struck me as funny." It struck me as funny. Okay? Me pareció gracioso. To strike. Okay? So it struck me as funny. And John says, and to William, both of you? And Charlie says, apologies, Billy. Mis disculpas. We was just hacking on you. Now, we was. Sí, porque no tenían educación. That's when you say we was, así suenas. Like somebody like a gunslinger out in the Wild West. We was just hacking on you. We were just teasing you, vacilando. No se dice hacking on tanto hoy en día. And Dirty Steve says, yeah, we was just hacking on you. And Richard says, rumor has it, you killed a man, Billy. Rumor dice. Rumor has it, you killed a man, Billy. You don't seem like the killing sort. No pareces ese tipo del que mata. And Dirty Steve says, yeah, Billy. What'd you kill him for? ¿Por qué le mataste? Would you? What'd you kill him for? And William says, he was hacking on me. He was making fun of me. He was teasing me, vacilándome. So there it is, folks. Young Guns, and then you've got Young Guns 2 with John Bon Jovi and that killer song, Blaze of Glory. But it's not time for songs right now. It's time for another section where we look at jokes.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking. This is where we take a look at a couple jokes and we see if you guys get these jokes. And as always, these jokes are pretty native, and they all have something to do with puns, with plays on words. So there's always a double meaning somewhere. Hey guys, stop horsing around. Stop horsing around. Deja de hacer el bestia, I think you say. Stop horsing around. All right. Why did the cowboy pinstripe his truck? And to pinstripe, well, a stripe es una raya. So if you pinstripe something, pones una raya diplomática, raya fina. I didn't know you call it a diplomatic stripe. Tela de raya diplomática o raya fina, pinstripes. So sometimes people pinstripe, piénsalo con a pin, con un alfiler. So it's like a fine line that you can use on fashion. Well, use it on cars. Some people pinstripe. Okay. I didn't know the word in Spanish, so I'm learning too. So why did the cowboy pinstripe his truck? Why did the cowboy pinstripe his truck? Well, easy. He needed a pickup line. No? A pickup line? Why did the cowboy pinstripe his truck? Ponerle rayitas finas? He needed a pickup line. Well, a pickup truck is a really common truck if you got to carry things around down on the ranch. And so a pickup truck. So it was a line on his pickup. But also a pickup line is, well, a line you use if you want to meet a girl. So you say, hey, baby, is your father an astronomer? Because he put the stars from the sky and put them in your eyes. That's called a pickup line. When you're trying to pick up girls or guys, you use a pickup line. I don't really think they work, but you get it now? He needed a pickup line. And what did the cowboy call his daughter? Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Hija. All right. You know where I heard that one? Honestly, I heard that one at Mini Hollywood. In Mini Hollywood and not in Media, they have like a Western show. And the guy started telling jokes, and I was like, I'm going to take that one. I love that one. What did the cowboy, what did the Spanish cowboy call his daughter? Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Okay. What do you call someone who wears cowboy clothes? Okay. What do you call someone who wears cowboy clothes? Well, I call it ranch dressing. No. What do you call someone who wears cowboy clothes? Ranch dressing? I reckon I call it ranch dressing. No. All right, well, ranch, un rancho, I think that's an easy one. It's where cowboys hang out on the ranch. And dressing is vestimiento, vestirse, right? So ranch dressing, vestimenta de rancha, o vistiéndome de en plan ranchera, de rancho, no? Ranch dressing, right? But also, ranch dressing, if you go to the United States, is a very popular dressing that people put on their salads, right? Ranch dressing. Es como muy cremosa, es un aliño. I personally, I like Italian dressing. You know what Italian dressing is? Oil, vinegar, garlic, and some oregano, and some. That's what I like on my salad. But a lot of people love ranch dressing. You should try it. People love it in the States. I guess it's good. I just don't like them creamy textures. All right. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. I forgot to tell you. I've been so busy out on my ranch that I'm making a new cowboy film. Yeah, I love my Westerns. You know I love Westerns. And I'm making a new cowboy film. And you know what it's called? The Sun. The Sun, I'm going to call it. And it's set in the West. It's set in the West. No. The movie's called The Sun, and it's set in the West. Nope. All right, well, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Is that right? All right. That's why on the east coast of the United States, you've got a lot of the places are called Sunrise Hotel, Sunrise Restaurant, Sunrise, and on the west coast, everything's called Sunset, Sunset Boulevard, Sunset, because the sun goes down in the west, the sun sets in the west and rises in the east. Also, it's set in the west is está ambientado. The sun, it's set in the west, se pone en el occidente, but also está ambientado en el oeste. All right, well, folks, it's time for another section now, famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays, and we've got to fly through this. So let's see if you guys know. Ooh, excuse me, ran out of air. Let's see if you guys know who these three famous birthday boys and girls are. Let's see. The first person was born in 1959. He's an American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer, and best known as the lead guitarist of the rock band Bon Jovi from the year 1983 to 2013. And he's also one of the main songwriters in that band, Bon Jovi. In 2018, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right, and number two, this person was born in 1965. An American singer, songwriter, and bass player, bajista. He's in the band Weezer. You know the band Weezer? If not, you are missing out. They're awesome. Weezer. If you want to undo my sweater, whoa, whoa, whoa. They've got one, Buddy Holly. I know probably one most people know is Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be. Beverly Hills. Yes, and where are they from? Los Angeles. I don't know if they're from Beverly Hills, but they're definitely from LA County. All right, and last but not least, he was a Russian actor and dancer who died in 1985, and he was the king in The King and I, which won 2 Tony Awards, and later an Academy Award for Best Actor for the film adaptation. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Valrol. Happy birthday to John, her brother-in-law, also Richie Sambora, Scott Schreiner, and Yul Brenner. And this will bring us over to Yul Brenner in today's Say What soundbite. This is from The King and I. And this is really an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic. And he says, I cannot stand all the time. No puedo estar de pie todo el tiempo. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than the king's. Nadie puede tener la cabeza más alta que el rey. From now on, in presence, diría, ahora, él habla como muy indio, ¿no? Because he's from another country here. So he goes, from now on, in my presence, I think, Kubla, you said peasants, right? So from now on, in presence, you will so conduct like all other subjects. Te portarás como todos los otros sujetos. And Anna says, you mean on the floor? ¿Tú quieres decir que quieres que yo esté en el suelo? And he goes, all subjects do so. Todos los sujetos míos lo hacen. And she's like, I'm very sorry. Lo siento mucho. Yo no lo voy a hacer. All right, so this is from The King and I. And we looked at the creators of this musical the other day when we looked at songwriters. We looked at Rodgers and Hammerstein.
I cannot stand all the time. And in this country, no one's head shall be higher than king's. From now on in presence, you shall so conduct like all other subjects.
You mean on the floor?
All subjects do so.
I'm very sorry.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, everybody. Great job. I'll give you the song. The song is Beverly Hills by Weezer. Look at the lyrics and sing it with me. He says, where I come from isn't all that great. De donde vengo yo no mola tanto. My automobile is a piece of crap. Una mierda. My fashion sense is a little whack. Un poco loco, un poco raro. A little whack. And my friends are just as screwy as me. Mis amigos son tan locos como yo. I didn't go to boarding schools. Estos son estos coles que vas internado, a boarding school. And preppy girls, pijillas, como ese look, never looked at me. Why should they? I ain't nobody. I ain't anybody, but bueno, I ain't nobody. No soy nadie. Got nothing in my pocket. Beverly Hills. All right, folks, sing along with me as we say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here today and every day. Woo! Yeah, let's go. Rock it. Huh.